Hello, everyone, and good morning. Good morning. We are live. Just want to make sure we're live and you can hear me. I have today, I wanted to talk about a question I got from a mom yesterday about the new battles that she's facing because school has started. It doesn't matter what age your child is, the battle is same. I know if you're a parent, you can connect to that and understand that because when school starts again in September, like everyone says, everybody's new year is in January. But for parents, the new year is September, or some of you may have started in August. So September brings on this new battle, the battle to wake up, battle to get ready, battle to be on time, battle to be at the school with everything in place without forgetting, battle to bring them back home with your busy schedule, then battle to get them settled into a routine, and then battle to get the homework to make sure they have everything and eat good food right at the end of the day and go to bed, do their activities before they go to bed, right? All of the extracurricular activities some of your children may be enrolled in. So there's a lot, which is what I'm going through. If you're feeling the pressure and feels like a battle, you're not alone because it's normal because throughout the summer we get off schedule. Don't have schedule. We work on our own pace. We do our own thing. You might have left them home and went to work, or they might have been doing camps. That was just different schedule. Now we have a different schedule, and we need to make sure that our children get back into that schedule. It doesn't matter what age. They could be young, they could be older kids. It's the same thing. Getting back to that routine take discipline. Now, discipline on all of our parts, not just our children, but also us too, right? Because we also have gotten off of our schedule in being with them. So I want to talk about what we do as blocks to flow coaches, because there's a lot of question about, is this tutoring, is this therapy, and how do we help? So what is blocks to flow? Right now, you may be struggling with something at your house with your children, no matter their age. It could be that they're not doing their homework, or they're forgetting, or they're lying, or they're sleeping in, or they're not going to bed, or they're using their phone too much, or they have friends that are influencing them in a negative way, or they don't want to find a job, or they are in college and they don't know how to really figure things out. It doesn't matter. As you can see, all of my examples are always not directed to one person, but our seasons bring new challenges. There's new things that are happening to us. It doesn't matter how old your child is. So when you're facing these things, what we do as parents is we want to get them right, because we're so afraid for them to make mistake and also for us to make a mistake, because we always feel like there's only one chance this event is happening when we have to get it right. With that pressure comes your nervous system is now reacting in a way as it's no longer feeling safe and ready. It's so that's why it's really important for us to regulate our nervous system, really understand what is going through our body and our mind and what fear are we facing. So in blocks to flow, what we do is we want to get the whole family ready to learn, not just the child, not just the parent alone, but the whole everyone involved, including the teacher, including everyone who's surrounding this child. We want to get them ready and in flow so that everyone can work together to achieve the results. So we have this prerequisite stage. Everyone starts working on the content, curriculum, and the problem, but we have this prerequisite phase where we look at what's really going on. What is the real problem here? What is the fear that's holding you and your child in this survival stage? Because unless we feel safe and ready, it's no point in adding anything to accomplish. Because if we're not safe and ready, our body is going to fight to survive. That's how our brain is wired. It's for survival. It's going to fight. So, in order for us to make sure that we really look at achievement as an end result, a byproduct of this preparation. So we need to prepare. So Melissa says, thank you, Kohila. Yes, we coach flow for students and parents both. It's such a powerful program. Yes, in our program, we are looking at everything holistically, right? Because we live in a world, we look at everything isolated or compartmentalized. We want to look at everything holistically because only then can we find the real results. Because we don't want to just run for results that works for some time and then fall apart and then we have to fix it again. That's kind of how we fix a problem, right? We fix one thing and then that falls apart and then another things fall apart. So if we look at it holistically, like Melissa says, it's really important to make it a powerful journey for both the parent and the child and the teacher involved as well, and anyone else is involved. So going back to this, what do we do as blocks to flow coaches? We get the prerequisites to learning ready. And for you as parents, we get the prerequisite to you living with your child ready. And then when you're leading, you're also ready as well. So we do the ready part because everybody thinks that we're already ready and we're ready to accelerate. Unfortunately, in this world where we are right now, with all the things that are happening to us and all the things that are in the season to you, we're usually not ready to accelerate. We usually have blocks. We usually have fear that could hold us. And also, we also have worries that can just grip us and keep us as hostage. And we also have our nervous system not regulated. So, how can we accelerate and get results when your nervous system is under attack and it's going to fight for survival? When we're fighting for survival, that means your nervous system is under attack and under threat. When you're under threat, if I'm threatening you or somebody's threatening you, could you focus on doing your work? Could you give all your best to do your best performance when something is attacking you? By how we're wired, how our brain is wired, it's wired to fight back or run away to safety. We must find safety first before we can really perform. So I want you to think of it like this. If your child is refusing to do work, refusing to get up, refusing to put their phone down, refusing to go to school, or saying that I'm not good at things, I hate things, there's meltdown, there's breakdown in your house, and you feel so frustrated that why can't they just do it? I just want you to think of it as if a system is threatened, if a person is threatened, and they're in this survival mode, and we ask them to perform, they're not going to perform. They're going to give us these signals. These are your child's signals. When they're shutting down, that's a signal. When they're ignoring you, that's a signal. When they are talking back to you, and which sometimes it's really bad, right? In some situation, if they're teenagers, they're talking back to you, that's a signal that their nervous system is not, it's not in a place to perform, it's under survival, it's under attack, and they're going to protect themselves by doing behaviors, displaying behaviors, which are signals. So if we can understand this as a signal, then we can really help them. Because if we don't understand them as signal, we're fixing behaviors. How many of us heard, try this strategy, do this, do that, and we try and it doesn't work? At the end of the day, you go back to more behaviors for that. It's like side effects from medicine sometimes we take. That's how behaviors become. Because if we keep attacking it as behavior, it's never going to fix itself. We have to look at it holistically, and we really have to look at it from a place of signal. This system, this is a living system. Your child is a living system. It's giving a signal. We need to learn how to read it. And not everyone is trained to read that. And that's exactly what blocks to flow coaches are trained under, to read those signals. To read those signals, and they know exactly the steps to take your child and yourself through so that those signals can be understood and those signals can be decoded so that we can really get to the bottom of it, and then we can really unblock that part where the signals are stemming from. When we can unblock it, then we understand it. We want understanding around these signals, not anger, not more pressure, not more not more punishments, right? Usually behaviors leads to punishment, even though we might think it's not punishment, it's a consequence. But a lot of the time, in the eyes of a child, a young person, even a young adult, when we do these things, it actually becomes a punishment. That's how they're going to view it, even though we may think it's consequence. When behaviors are happening, when they're signaling, and when they're under threat, we may think it's consequence. They think of it as punishment. So can you see how we're doing the opposite thing when we're dealing with thinking it as a behavior? But if we go it as a signal, now we are truly in understanding of each other. We can look at it like, okay, this system is now under attack, so it's displaying these signals. Now we can look at it, why do we see these signals, and how can we help? And that's exactly the pre-work that our coaches who are certified and licensed can offer you as a blocks to flow coach. So to the mom who sent me a question yesterday asking, what is blocks to flow? Is it tutoring? It's more than tutoring, because tutoring starts with the subject and wants acceleration to happen right away. But we don't accelerate a system that's blocked. We know it's not going to work. By force, accelerating something is not going to go too far. You can only push a car so much. When it comes to an uphill, you cannot push a car that doesn't accelerate. You're not going to be at the back pushing the car through an uphill. It's not going to work. That's all external forces. It comes from inside. We're going to roll backward. We don't want that. I've been a tutor. Many of our coaches been a teachers and tutors. We don't want that. We don't want to roll backward while somebody's trying to push your child up to get results and accelerate and achieve. You don't want to push them like a broken car. We want to know how to intrinsically accelerate them so that they can accelerate themselves by themselves. This is exactly what we do. The prerequisites help them accelerate them by knowing why and how their system works, and why and how and why they need to do this in their life. That's intrinsic motivation. When a child has an intrinsic motivation, you don't need to nag as parents, you don't need to push them, you don't need to set alarms for them. They're so excited. You're going to see excitement in their eyes. You're going to see them happy to get up in the morning and do things that they believe that it's good for them. So that's intrinsically motivated child. So if you're seeing these behaviors and you're trying to push, you're trying to hire a tutor at the wrong time, you're going to feel like nothing is working. And that happens to a lot of parents. Maybe some of you haven't hired a tutor yet because you haven't seen your child struggle yet. It's just starting up because school is just starting. But just know that without the prerequisites being filled in, knowing what signals are being fired and knowing why those signals are being fired and looking at them through the lens of signals versus behaviors, we cannot accelerate any child into success and achieve. So that's exactly what we do. We bring awareness, we create alignment, we activate their system so they become intrinsically motivated to accelerate. They can push their own pedal in that car. Now they can move uphill, downhill on their own. and no one needs to push them or pressure them or watch them because they are intrinsically motivated. So, if you have more questions about how Blocks to Flow works, we offer free clarity meeting. This meeting is absolutely free. Come join us on one of them. Just under this video, type in the word flow, and I will reach out to you and we'll have a call. And then we can see where these signals are coming from and firing from, maybe for you, maybe for your child, maybe for your family. Maybe it's their teacher that is not working out, or you're afraid it's not going to work out. Who knows? Whatever the problem is, we'll look at it from a signal point of view versus behaviors point of view. And we look at it, and then there is a time you can hire a tutor. We'll even tell you what that time is. Tutors are fine when they're hired in the right time. When they're hired at the wrong time, you are going to feel like nothing is working. What's wrong here? What am I doing wrong? Even what's wrong with my child? And should I get them diagnosed? And then we know where that goes, right? Whole new area of getting them diagnosed with something. But your child might not need any diagnosis. They just need to understand that this is a system, it's firing signals, and what system is blocked, and how can I unblock it. And it's not an easy task to do because we're run by multiple systems working with us. And there's also systems in the environment that's working with us or against us. So it's not really easy to figure that out. But we are trained in that. That's what we live and breathe. That's what our coaches are trained under. So again, comment, flow, and I'll talk about what happens when you feel that tutoring is not working. Because I've been a tutor for many, 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 many years, served hundreds of families. So why would I say tutoring doesn't work when hired at the wrong time? Because I've seen it firsthand. And that's how I developed this Blocks to Flow method, is by being with my students and my families that I've served. I noticed that how pushing content and curriculum at the wrong time was opposite to what we want, produced the opposite results to what we want. We actually hurt that child by telling them, take more, take more, take more, when their system is blocked and in survival. It's actually sad to push content, curriculum onto a child who's under survival mode. So we need to create this prerequisite. No one out in the world has a program like this. They've never designed it. Everyone wants results, so they're actually focusing on getting you result on a system that's under survival and feels like it's an attack. So nothing is wrong with your child, nothing is wrong with you. All you need to understand is that there's prerequisites to learning, prerequisites to living, and prerequisite to leading your family and your life. And we can help you with that. So again, write flow, and we can have a free conversation, and then we'll go from there. I have another person here from Tracy. Tracy says, Blocks to Flow is a life-changing method. Using it myself, I'm now better than I ever have at getting through low depression and anxiety cycles. Thank you, Kohila, for developing this method. We walk you, your child, through identifying blocks that impact you and their systems. Exactly. And Tracy is one of our coaches, so thank you, Tracy. And that's the thing with all of our coaches, is that they actually have to go through this Blocks to Flow method themselves, so they can really see the transformations themselves. And that's why we offer this clarity meeting, because we want you to see it as well. You as parents to understand this before moving ahead with any kind of coaching. So again, type flow, and I will come back tomorrow. I want to talk about what happens when we hire help like tutors, and then it doesn't work. What do we then go? What do we all decide? We decide that something must be wrong. Let's get them checked, or let's see any diagnosis is available, and let's talk about that tomorrow, and how what that does to your child, and how what that does to you even. as a parent, because I'm really passionate about that, those labels, those diagnoses, because I've also worked with thousands and thousands of families that have um, all types of labels. So let's talk about that tomorrow. Again, type flow, and I'll see you on another live tomorrow. Thank you, Tracy and Melissa, for tuning in.